Warren Buffett is worth over $138 billion. He could own a private island in every ocean, a fleet of super yachts, a different mansion for every day of the month. Instead, he lives in the same house he bought in 1958 for $31,500 in Omaha, Nebraska, a 5-bedroom stucco house in a regular neighborhood worth approximately $1.4 million today. That sounds like a lot until you realize it represents 0.001% of his net worth. The equivalent for someone with a $100,000 net worth would be living in a house worth $1. Meanwhile, a 32-year-old real estate agent in Dallas making $240,000 a year just bought a $1.2 million house that stretches his budget to the breaking point. He drives a leased BMW at $800 a month. He wears a Rolex he financed. He takes his family to Cabo twice a year on credit. On Instagram, he looks wealthier than Warren Buffett. In reality, his net worth is negative. He owes more than he owns. One of them understands something fundamental about money. The other has fallen for a trap that separates people who build wealth from people who just spend it. We're conditioned by movies, music videos, and Instagram to believe that wealth equals maximum consumption, that the point of getting rich is to upgrade every facet of existence to the platinum tier. But look at Mark Zuckerberg, worth over $170 billion, wearing the same gray t-shirt every day. When asked why, he explained that eliminating trivial decisions preserves mental energy for decisions that actually matter. Steve Jobs wore the same black turtleneck daily. Jeff Bezos drove a Honda Accord for years after becoming a billionaire. Ingvar Kamprad, founder of IKEA and one of the richest people in history, flew economy class and drove a 20-year-old Volvo. Are they cheap? No, they are efficient. They understand a secret the middle-class mindset misses completely. Luxury is a liability. Luxury is friction. Luxury is a tax on your attention. While the nouveau riche are busy upgrading their lifestyles to impress strangers, smart money is busy upgrading their freedom, their leverage, and their impact. My name is Bobby, and I spend way too much time decoding the behavioral patterns of the ultra-wealthy to understand why they act so differently from the rest of us. If you feel constant pressure to buy nicer things as your income grows, or wonder why making it feels so expensive and exhausting, hit that subscribe button. Today, we are dismantling what I call the upgrade illusion, and escaping it is the single biggest psychological shift you can make in your financial life. Here is the thing about billionaires that most people misunderstand. They did not become billionaires by earning money and spending it on nice things. They became billionaires by obsessively refusing to consume it. The consumption you see from celebrities and athletes, the mansions, the cars, the entourages, that is not what wealth looks like. That is what the rapid destruction of wealth looks like. According to a 2009 Sports Illustrated report, 78% of NFL players are bankrupt or under severe financial stress within 2 years of retirement. A 2015 National Bureau of Economic Research study found that about 1/3 of lottery winners eventually declare bankruptcy. These people received massive windfalls and watched them evaporate because they believed having money means spending money. To a consumer, money is a token to be traded for goods. To an investor, money is an employee, a soldier. Every dollar you spend on a luxury car is a soldier you sent to die on the battlefield of depreciation. Every dollar you invest is a soldier recruited into your army to capture more territory through compound interest. Billionaires view their capital as potential energy. Spending it releases that energy and dissipates it. Allocating it concentrates that energy. When Buffett looks at a $50,000 car, he does not see $50,000. He sees the $5 million that $50,000 would become over 40 years of compounding. The price of the upgrade is not the sticker price. It is the future fortune destroyed to pay for it. The math of what consumption actually costs is far more brutal than most people realize. When you spend $1, you don't just lose that dollar, you lose everything that dollar could have become. Take a $20,000 raise spent on upgrading from a paid-off Honda to a BMW with a $500 monthly payment. That's $6,000 per year. Over 10 years, $60,000 spent. But at 8% annual returns, that's $6,000 per year invested becomes approximately $94,000. The BMW did not cost $60,000. It cost $94,000. Over 30 years, that same $6,000 per year becomes approximately $734,000. You didn't buy a car. You bought the absence of $750,000 in your retirement account. Multiply this across every lifestyle upgrade, the bigger apartment, the premium subscriptions, the designer clothes, and each one carries an opportunity cost that compounds over time. This brings us to efficiency over extravagance, the core operating system of the billionaire class. We think they have infinite time because they have staff, but at that level, time and mental bandwidth are the scarcest resources. Every object you own demands attention. A big house needs staff to manage it. A yacht needs a crew, a dock, maintenance, and insurance. A fleet of cars needs servicing. These assets are actually attention vampires. They create complexity. Zuckerberg wears the same shirt not because he has no fashion sense, but to eliminate decision fatigue, saving his decision-making calories for billion-dollar moves at Meta, not for picking out an outfit. When you upgrade your life, you downgrade your focus. You become a manager of your own stuff instead of a manager of capital. A mansion is not just a house, it's a small corporation. It breaks, it leaks, it needs heating and cooling. The carrying costs of a high-end lifestyle can easily eat up 10% of the asset's value every year. A $10 million house might cost $500,000 a year just to maintain, and that's post-tax income. You have to earn nearly $1 million a year just to keep the lights on and the grass cut. You just bought yourself a second job. Smart money avoids these high-friction assets. They prefer liquid assets, stocks, bonds, businesses that require zero maintenance. A share of Apple stock doesn't leak. It doesn't need painting. It just sits there and grows. That's the ultimate luxury, growth without effort. Now you might think, but they have private jets. Yes, but notice the distinction. A private jet buys time. It allows them to be in 3 cities in one day to close deals. It's a tool for production. A Ferrari sitting in traffic in Los Angeles does not buy time. It wastes it. It's a tool for ego. Smart money spends on tools that amplify output. Dumb money spends on toys that amplify image. If an upgrade does not make you faster, smarter, or more effective, it's just drag, aerodynamic resistance on your life. Social media has amplified the psychological pressure driving lifestyle inflation to a global scale. A 2018 University of Pittsburgh study found that increased social media use is significantly correlated with increased spending and decreased savings. You are no longer comparing yourself to your neighbors. You're comparing yourself to curated highlight reels from millions of strangers, many financing their displayed lifestyles with debt. Buffett famously does not use social media. He lives surrounded by the same modest reference points he's always known. The rest of us are swimming in an ocean of manufactured inadequacy. The upgrade is not about utility, it's about signaling, and signaling is expensive. If a billionaire tried to keep up with a Saudi prince, they would go broke, so they opt out entirely. They realize status is a bottomless pit. There is always a bigger boat. There is always a faster plane. The only way to win the status game is not to play. By refusing to upgrade, they maintain a massive gap between income and expenses. That gap is their power, what allows them to take risks, buy companies, and weather recessions. The person with high income and high expenses is fragile. The person with high income and low expenses is anti-fragile. Real wealth is quiet. Rich screams. Wealth whispers. Someone decked out in head-to-toe Gucci logos driving a loud Lamborghini is likely high income, low net worth, performing wealth, insecure. The billionaire in the fleece vest and jeans is secure. They don't need to signal because they are the signal. They derive self-worth from their balance sheet, not their billboard. By not upgrading, they protect themselves from lawsuits, scammers, and fake friends. Looking normal is strategic camouflage. The career-long math is staggering. Take two people starting at 25, both earning $60,000 with 3% annual raises. Person A spends every raise on lifestyle upgrades, better apartment, newer car, upgraded everything. By 65, they're earning $160,000 but saving nothing more than at 25 because every raise was consumed. They retire with approximately $400,000. Same job, same raises, same career. A $3 million difference explained entirely by whether they upgraded their lifestyle or invested the difference. Income is vanity, savings rate is sanity, and the space between what you earn and what you spend is where wealth is actually built. We think the upgrade will make us permanently happier. Science says it won't. You buy the bigger house, for 3 months you love it. Then it becomes your new normal. You adapt. Your happiness set point returns to baseline. But the bills do not return to baseline. The bills stay high forever. You're paying a permanent premium for a temporary bump in happiness.
Research consistently shows that beyond approximately $75,000 to $100,000 in household income, additional money produces almost no additional day-to-day happiness. Billionaires understand this intuitively. They find a level of comfort that is good enough, safe, clean, functional, and stay there. They refuse to pay the adaptation tax. This framing has it backwards to think billionaires can afford to live modestly because their wealth is secured. The modest lifestyle was not a product of their wealth, it was a cause of it. Buffett bought that Omaha house when he was 28, already successful but far from a billionaire. Every dollar he did not spend on a bigger house was a dollar invested in Berkshire Hathaway, compounding for 60 years. If he had upgraded to a $5 million mansion in 1980, the opportunity cost, at his historical returns, would be measured in billions today. The frugality came first, the wealth followed. A 2019 study in the Journal of Financial Planning confirmed this. Savings rate is a far better predictor of long-term wealth than income level. What you keep matters more than what you make. Here is how to apply it. First, define your enough lifestyle, a baseline that meets genuine needs and provides reasonable comfort, and commit to holding it constant as income rises. Your enough is probably lower than you think. Second, automate the capture of every raise before you can inflate into it. Immediately increase your investment contribution by the full amount. You cannot spend money you never see. Third, calculate the true cost of any upgrade. Use the 173 rule. Multiply a monthly expense by 173 to see its 10-year compounded value. That apartment costing $500 more per month is an $86,000 decision over a decade. When you see the compounded cost, the upgrade loses its shine. Fourth, audit your ego spending. Ask, am I buying this because I like it or because I want people to see me with it? If you lived on a desert island with no Instagram, would you still buy the Rolex? Probably not. You would buy a Casio that tells time and does not break. Cut the marketing budget for the brand called you. Fifth, curate your inputs ruthlessly. Unfollow accounts that exist to display consumption. Limit advertising exposure. Surround yourself with people who value building over spending. Choosing your environment is choosing your financial future. The Dallas real estate agent with the $1 million house and negative net worth thinks he is winning because his life looks impressive. He is losing, and will discover this at 65 when he cannot afford to stop working because he spent decades consuming every dollar instead of building wealth. Buffett, in his modest Omaha house, could stop working any time and live comfortably for 10,000 lifetimes. One is free, one is trapped. The difference is not income. The difference is understanding that looking wealthy and being wealthy are often opposite. So here's your homework. Identify one upgrade you were planning this year, the new iPhone, the new car. Delay it. Keep the old one for one more year. Take the money you would have spent and invest it. Watch that money grow. Feel the difference between the dopamine of spending and the dopamine of owning. Once you feel the power of ownership, the urge to upgrade fades. You start to see the matrix.
In a world of endless upgrades, enough is the most powerful word in the dictionary. Build instead of consume. Invest the difference. Let the people who need to look rich keep performing for each other, while you quietly build something that actually matters. If this changed how you see lifestyle upgrades, hit that like button and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.